Astrology in the news. And today is May 2nd, 2018. Happy Mars and Capricorn Day, man. Oh boy, this is where things are really going to go pedal to the metal for the next 6 months as Mars works its way through the sign of Capricorn. Yeah, I don't know what my cat's deal is here. It's like you feed them, they keep coming back for more. What the hell's going on with that? So anyway, back to Mars and Capricorn. I think my cat's probably an Aries or Scorpio. My dog's more of a Cancer. I don't think astrology applies to pets. So anyway, starting off with yogic wisdom of the day. The world is your body. The world is a great school. This world is your silent teacher. And this is from Swami Sivananda. The world is your oyster, so go grab it. Grab it good. Donald Trump. I'm going to get in trouble for that one, but you know, if you're going to go up to the bell, you might as well ring it, right? All right, Donald to be subpoenaed. So going back to what I was talking about, Mars in the sign of Capricorn, it's really going to revolve around all of this drama finally being resolved and not being resolved in a peaceful, awesome type way. So really, Donald Trump. Mueller's warming up the lie detector, but really let's take a look here at Donald Trump's chart here for the 1000th time. So really, I predicted last August that if Donald Trump didn't get impeached, kicked out of office, or eliminated by August of last year, he was going to be okay. And I still believe that. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing this stuff trying to come to fruition, and eventually it's going to flip, okay? So Donald Trump is actually going to get the upper hand on everybody that's going after him because the whole Russia thing was a big pile of crap, okay? Let's just face it. I mean, if you're following this news story, it was all concocted in order to, my take on it is I actually think the whole Russia thing with Donald Trump was a Russian counterintelligence operation solely to sow discord in the United States as a result from our interference in the Ukrainian election in 2014. And if you go back and you watch my video, Russia, 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 I talk a little bit more about that because everything goes back to Ukraine. So basically, the Russians handed over this dossier to the Democrats, which was completely fake, and of course the Democrats are going to run with it. I don't have any proof on it, but my spidey sense and astrology sense is telling me that that is what's going on. So anyway, for Donald Trump, really we need to pay attention to Jupiter, and really Jupiter, it's really because he's in his Jupiter dasha, okay? And his Jupiter here is in the second house, and Jupiter's transiting his third house. And in his chart, Jupiter rules the fifth and this is the eighth house. So it can show, so the eighth house ruler can show unexpected issues and things like that. But since Jupiter also rules the fifth house, in Vedic astrology, if the planet rules one of the tricone houses, so that's first, fifth, and ninth, it's going to be considered a functional benefit, okay? So in Donald Trump's case, Jupiter is a good planet, even though it rules the eighth house. So it rules like one of the best and one of the worst, but in Vedic, good old Trump's bad. Okay, no pun intended there. So looking at this guy's chart, you know, you really, geez, I don't know how to go into this, but the next 6 months are going to change things so much. And really, Donald Trump was the trigger for all this, but it's going to filter down under Donald Trump. So while he was the original trigger, everything's going to conform around everything. Okay, so really, July is going to be a month that we're going to take a look at, but Donald Trump's going to come out of this okay. All right, Bernie Sanders promises jobs for all. The Clinton Foundation paperwork needs processing. So if you need a job, you need to take that shredded paper, tape it together, call the DNC, okay? Because I'm sure there's a lot of Hillary Clinton Foundation docs in there. So, no, actually the Clinton Foundation is not associated with the DNC, but it's still funny. So Bernie was the one guy that I predicted that could beat Donald Trump. And of course, who did they pick? Hillary Clinton, right? And looking at Bernie's chart, the reason why I thought that he could beat Donald Trump is his ascendant, you know, he has Mars and K2 in the 10th house, and that makes somebody a very good aggressive politician. Actually, Mars is strong inside the 10th house, but you know, it's in the sign of Pisces, so there's a little bit of going back and forth and like wishy-washiness with him. Now, the one thing I will give Bernie Sanders credit is he said he was a socialist. He's like, I am a socialist. I'm like Obama, who just kind of put all these layers of things on top of it. So Bernie is who he is, okay? So we can really take what he says at face value because he also preaches what he believes. So let's see, other things with Bernie. So he's got a few planets here in the sign of Cancer. So the Sun and Mercury there. He's an emoting person. And also, too, this reflects around his style of communication. So his ascendant is here in the sign of Gemini, but Mercury's in the sign of Cancer. So he has the ability to take these big, broad ideas and then repackage them into something that people can emotionally relate to. So this is why you see the whole jobs for all, things like that. A lot of his policies are based on emotion and not necessarily logic and reason. And so we could get into the whole, communist versus capitalist thing. But I mean, really, if you look at Bernie's arguments, he does not make an intellectual argument for them. He makes an emotional argument. And that's kind of shown in Mercury and also too in Pisces. So really, Bernie runs on emotion. See, Venus in the third house in the sign of Leo generally means that if he goes out and he writes, he actually pours his love into his writing. So the third house is about writing, and Leo, basically people that have Leo in the third house really want to be command respect from other people through writing. And when you put Venus in there too, I wouldn't be surprised if he wrote love letters to his wife. Actually, I bet he expresses a lot of his love in his relationship through writing. Let's see, some difficult placements here. Jupiter and Saturn in the 12th house, not too bad. Now, the interesting thing now, this guy, now, okay, Kevin, is he going to run in 2020? Yes, he is. And the reason why I say that is, first of all, he's talking about it, but not just that, but he's going to be going into his Venus Dasha in July of 2019. So I think that's when he's going to make his official announcement, if not before then. And now looking at where his Venus is placed, Venus is going to become the operator. If he does decide to run again, Venus is going to be the operating planet in his chart, just like with Donald Trump, the Jupiter was. And honestly, I mean, he's going to be in his, okay, so when is the election? Yeah, so he's going to be in his Venus Mahadasha starting around 2020. So if he does win, this guy does have I'm sorry, if he does run, if he does win, if he does run, he does have a legit chance of winning because of these placements. So, and we'll get into a little bit more of that too as things go on. But I also I want to be sure that he at least has a nomination before I make a prediction. All right, so I want to throw this out to all the people that live in the West Coast and earthquake-prone areas. Okay. Earthquake chances remain very high throughout the summer. There's a couple of reasons for that. And of course, seriously, if you live in an earthquake-prone area, prepare. I'm not joking about this stuff. I'm concerned that a major earthquake is going to hit on the west coast of the United States, or there's going to be a major volcanic eruption, okay? The reason for this is twofold. First of all, Mars is working its way here into the sign of Capricorn, and this is actually about the earth signs in Western and Eastern astrology. So when Mars is working its way into a earth sign here, and this is Capricorn, and when an active planet goes into an earth sign, it tends to shake things up, okay? So an earth sign really does literally represent the earth, okay? And so the other thing that we are going to be seeing is Uranus is working its way into the sign of Taurus, which is an earth sign, and that's going to be when did they say? That's going to be in August, okay? And so when Uranus works its way into Taurus, traditionally in the Western zodiac, that has caused earthquakes. So you really need to be ready. My particular area of concern is the New Madrid Fault in Missouri, because that was right in the path of the eclipse. That was at the zenith of the last eclipse, and I'm really worried that that's going to pop off, and I really hope that I'm wrong. So like I said again, if you live in an earthquake-prone area, this includes me. I'm ready for it. I got my earthquake survival kit. And hopefully nothing will happen here in Phoenix, but we're close enough to the San Andreas that a major earthquake could affect here, okay? Earthquakes do happen in Arizona. So, all right, that is all I have today. And if you liked what you saw, smash that like button. Smash it anyway, or just press it. I don't know. I guess that's what the kids are saying nowadays. So, all right, have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.